Okay, now we're on to level 4. It's getting really exciting. This is your discretionary income fund. So if you've reached this level, congratulations. That means you've already started thinking about your emergency fund and you're set there in case something happens. It means that you got your short-term income replacement fund taken care of, where now if you lose your job, you'll be able to actually have money to continue to live your lifestyle. And it also means that you're thinking about retirement, which is amazing. You're starting to save for that future you and make sure that everything's great. By the way, before we go fully into number 4, if you have not done steps 1 through 3, go back and pay attention to those. We're going to get to some really exciting stuff around what to do with discretionary income that can really change the game for how you live your life. Okay, so we said we're going to talk about discretionary income, and we will, but just remember, a lot of people never make it to this point where they actually have a bunch of discretionary cash to invest, and that's okay. Saving isn't for the sole purpose of saving. It's about living a quality of life and about making sure that you have the resources to live the life that you want. So if you make it here, great, but don't beat yourself up if you don't. But now that we're here, we're going to talk about what to do with that excess cash. This is likely outside of any type of retirement vehicle because right now you've maxed it out. This is going to be in more brokerage accounts or into more alternative investments. Ideally, what you should do with this money is it still should be in something that is risk controlled, right? So you do want to take a little bit more risk so you can get more reward, but you also don't want to lose your shirt. This is not where you invest in speculative assets. This is where you actually just invest more aggressively in things that you think that you have high conviction around returning a higher return over time. Some people put this money into things like rates. Some people buy a few individual stocks. Some people take this money and go into a few more alternative assets, private equity, things of that nature if they have access to it. But remember, this is the part where you now have extra money. You've taken care of all these other layers and you can take a little bit more risk to get a lot more reward, hopefully, so that you can live an even greater quality of life. This is where that effective wealth accumulation starts to really take hold. Remember, the other parts were more about lifestyle accumulation and living that great life. This is now about maybe some more wealth accumulation. So you'll want to be diversified. You still don't want to be fully concentrated in any one thing because that's too risky. You don't want to be really speculative in this level. We'll talk about what to do with potentially excess money that you want to get into speculative investments later, but that's not necessarily right here. And you want to be more aggressive in your mindset. This is money that you think you want to take bets and chances on things where you have high conviction, still a high floor on risk, but high conviction that this could return money over time and allow your wealth to grow and accumulate even faster. Okay, and 2 more very important last things. One is make sure that whatever you're investing in this stage still has investment fundamentals attached to it. You're buying assets that earn return and that can actually earn outsized return for us in the future. The other is you really want to be mindful of the tax burden, how long you hold something, how that asset is distributed, whether or not it's counted as your basic income tax or long-term capital gains tax. But if you've got that money and you're mindful of those things, this is where it can get really exciting.